Vera's fist connected with the sandbag, and the entire support chain ripped free from the ceiling. The bag flew across the preparation chamber, crashed through the observation wall, and sailed into the tribunal arena where 3 judges dove off their platforms. "Incredible," Valana hissed, her serpentine body coiling backward, scales shifting from purple to alarmed yellow. "The human broke our reinforced training equipment." Kixthar clicked his mandibles dismissively, all 4 of his bronze chitinous arms crossing over his thorax. "Parlor trick. Raw strength means nothing in the trials. She will fail the endurance challenge like every human before her." His compound eyes glittered with smug certainty. Vera brushed dust off her knuckles, ignoring the judges scrambling below. "Your last human challenger was a botanist who accidentally wandered in here. I'm actually qualified." "Qualified to lose spectacularly," Kixthar chittered. "No mammalian species has survived the weight test. Your bone structure cannot possibly start the damn trial." Hrun, the massive crystalline being, vibrated with what might have been laughter. His 8-foot frame glowed brighter orange, translucent body refracting light across the arena floor. The vibrations translated through speakers. "Human confident, amusing, proceed to arena." The holding corridor's red emergency lights flickered as Vera walked toward the arena entrance. Behind her, Kixthar's mandibles clicked rapidly. "The weight begins at standard. 200 thrax, approximately 400 of your pounds. When you collapse in the first round, try not to damage the equipment further. When I win, you're buying me dinner." Valana's floating body rippled with surprise, her gas bladders inflating slightly. "Win? Humans have never—" "First time for everything, Snake." The arena gates opened with a grinding screech of metal. Sandy floor stretched 30 feet across, elevated platforms surrounding it like a coliseum. Holographic displays materialized above, showing the current weight. 0 thrax in glowing blue numbers. A massive harness descended from the ceiling on reinforced cables. Industrial, brutal, designed for species with exoskeletons or crystalline frames. Definitely not designed for soft human flesh. Vera stepped into it, adjusting the straps across her shoulders and waist. The metal bit into her combat gear. "Begin!" Hrun's vibrations boomed through the chamber. The weight engaged. 200 thrax materialized as gravitational force. And Vera's knees buckled for exactly 1 second before she locked them straight. The harness groaned. Her breathing stayed controlled. Kixthar leaned forward on his observation platform, all 4 arms gripping the railing. "Impossible. Her skeletal structure should be fracturing." "Increase weight," Valana commanded, her vertical pupils narrowing to suspicious slits. 300 thrax. Vera shifted her stance wider, muscles coiling. The sand beneath, her boots compressed into footprint-shaped divots. 400 thrax. Sweat beaded on her forehead. Her scarred hands gripped the harness straps until her knuckles went white. "She cannot sustain this," Kixthar insisted, though his mandibles had stopped clicking. "No mammal." 500 thrax slammed down. Vera grunted, dropped to one knee, then, with a roar that echoed off the arena walls, stood back up. Her legs shook but held. The harness cables above vibrated with tension. The holographic display flickered uncertainly. "Anomalous," Hrun vibrated, his orange veins pulsing faster. "Human exceeding projected capacity by 300%. "She's cheating," Kixthar chittered, compound eyes scanning frantically. Hidden exoskeleton, genetic modification, something just really fucking strong. Vera gasped out, grinning through gritted teeth. 600 thrax. This time Vera did go down, both knees hitting sand. The impact created a small crater. For 10 seconds, she stayed there, head bowed, every muscle in her body trembling visibly. Then something small chirped. All three judges turned. At the arena's edge, two tiny shapes wobbled forward on unsteady legs. Juvenile Urnak cubs, no bigger than house cats, their mottled gray fur catching the harsh lights. Oversized eyes blinked at the arena. Bioluminescent spots along their six-legged bodies pulsed with curious blue light. The cubs, Valana breathed, her scales flushing pale with shock. How did they escape the nursery? Pip, or possibly Zara, they were identical, chirped again and bounded toward Vera with a fearless stupidity only babies possess. Stop the trial! Kixthar's four arms waved frantically. The wait will... Too late. Both cubs reached Vera, and with the confident ignorance of creatures who'd never met danger, climbed directly onto her waist. Their tiny claws found purchase on her combat gear. They clung there, purring, as 600 thrax of gravitational force tried to crush the human beneath them. Vera looked down at the cubs, then at the judges, then back at the cubs, who blinked their enormous eyes and chirped contentedly. You have got to be kidding me. Cubs in danger! Hroon vibrated urgently, his entire crystalline body flashing from orange to alarmed red. Terminate trial. Retrieve juveniles. If we shut down the gravity now, Valana hissed, her serpentine form coiling tight with anxiety. The sudden release will launch them into the arena walls at lethal velocity. If we maintain it, Kixthar chittered, mandibles working overtime, the human will collapse and crush them. Pip, definitely Pip. She had a darker spot on her left ear, chose that moment to crawl higher, tiny paws kneading Vera's ribcage like making biscuits. Zara followed her sister's lead, both cubs now treating the trembling human like their personal climbing tree. Status? Valana demanded. The holographic display updated. Weight, 600 thrax. Human vitals, critical. Time sustained. 47 seconds. Vera's arms had started shaking so badly, her hands blurred. Sweat poured down her face, dripping onto the sand where it created dark spots. Every breath came out as a ragged wheeze. Human! Kixthar shouted, his dismissive attitude completely evaporated. Can you hold for gradual weight reduction? 45 seconds minimum? Through trembling lips, Vera managed. These little shits better remember this when they're older. She wrapped both arms around the cubs, pulling them against her chest, and locked her elbows. Her legs, still bent at the knee, began to straighten. Inch by impossible inch, she stood up. 600 thrax, 2 baby Urnak, 1 very pissed-off human. Reduce weight, Valana commanded. 5% every 3 seconds. Gradual release protocol. The first reduction hit. 570 thrax. Vera's breathing evened slightly. 540. She shifted her grip on the cubs, who had started playing with her collar. 510. When I get out of this harness, Vera growled. Someone's explaining how your high-security nursery lost 2 babies. The Urnak cubs are problematic, Kixthar admitted, all 4 arms hanging limp with relief. They can phase through solid matter when frightened. Of course they can. 480 thrax. Zara sneezed directly into Vera's face. The bioluminescent spots on both cubs had shifted from blue to happy pink, pulsing in sync with their purring. Human maintaining structural integrity, Hroon observed, his vibrations almost sounding impressed. Cubs unharmed, unprecedented. 450. Vera could feel her heartbeat starting to slow from its previous attempt to escape her chest. 420. For the record, Vera said, looking directly at Kixthar's compound eyes, I could have done 700. Absolutely not. Try me next time without the surprise cargo. 390. The cubs, apparently bored with climbing, had curled into matching balls against Vera's chest, their 6 legs tucked underneath their bodies. There will be no next time, Valana insisted, though her scales had returned to their normal purple-blue. The trials are Human Passes Endurance Challenge. Hrune's vibrations cut through. Bonus achievement, Protected Federation Young During Crisis, triple score multiplier. The holographic display exploded with light, numbers cascading upward so fast they blurred. Final score, 89,420 points, a record that shattered the previous holder's achievement by roughly 10,000 points. 360 thrax. Vera's knees finally unlocked completely. 300. The arena gates opened. 2 adult Yurnak rushed in, their massive 8-foot frames covered in dark gray fur, bioluminescent spots blazing with parental panic. They made straight for Vera, who held up the cubs. They're fine. Little climbers, though. The adult Yurnak, presumably parents, gently took the cubs in their massive jaws, carrying them like puppies. Before leaving, both adults pressed their foreheads against Vera's shoulders in what was unmistakably a thank you gesture. Their bioluminescent spots pulsed warm yellow. 200 thrax. You knew, Kixthar said slowly, his mandibles barely moving. You knew you could sustain that weight. The hesitation at 500 was strategy, Vera confirmed. Let you think I was at my limit. Makes the next trial more interesting. 100 thrax. Valana's serpentine body went completely still, every scale locked in place. Next trial? You cannot possibly. What's next? Combat? Puzzle solving? Political debate? Vera rolled her shoulders as the weight dropped to 50 thrax. I'm just getting warmed up. The next trial, Kixthar said, his voice hollow, is the diplomatic feast. You must consume traditional foods from 43 species without vomiting. That's it. The Krazak dish is live insects. The Threns serve fermented brain matter. The Yik's contribution is, I've eaten military rations, Vera interrupted, for 6 years. Your fancy alien food can't be worse than nutrient paste-flavored beef style. 0 thrax. The harness released, and Vera stepped out of it, stretching. The preparation chamber's broken wall gave a clear view of the judges' platforms, where all 3 aliens sat in stunned silence. She's going to pass every trial, Valana whispered, her gas bladders deflating with defeat. Human will achieve Grand Champion status. Hrune vibrated, orange veins dimming to resigned amber. First mammal, first human, first female solo winner in tournament history. Kixthar's forearms crossed over his thorax again, but this time the gesture looked defensive rather than dismissive. The dinner offer was not serious. It was mockery. Vera grinned, walking toward the corridor exit. Too bad. You promised. I'm thinking that place with the glowing mushrooms. Heard they have great steaks. That restaurant costs. Should have thought about that before mocking the human bug boy. Behind her, the holographic display updated one final time. Next trial, diplomatic feast, commencing in 1 hour. Current champion, standing, Vera, human, 89 to 420 points. In the holding corridor's red-lit darkness, Vera pulled out a protein bar from her pocket and took a bite. Her hands had stopped shaking. Her heart rate had normalized. And she had 58 minutes to prepare for eating whatever nightmare cuisine 43 alien species considered delicious. The corridor's far end led to the feast hall, where she could already hear the sounds of preparation, Clattering dishes, strange cooking smells, and what might have been screaming vegetables. Vera finished her protein bar. "Bring it on,"